Hey guys, Eric with Rising Tide Landscapes here. We sponsor this podcast, Raising the Grade, and today I'm here with Megan Pratt of, is it Oldcastle or Belgard or both?
It's both.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Oldcastle is actually our parent company.
Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks
Glad
for
to
coming
be here.
through.
I appreciate you inviting me.
It's going to be so fun.
Right?
I'm anxious to get to know you. So, who's Megan?
So Megan is the mother of three, the grandmother of four. Yes, I've got four grandkids, three girls and a boy.
I have one. I'm jealous.
So fun. That's the only reason to have kids is to be a grandparent, right?
Kind of.
Maybe.
A little of both.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. And I've actually been in this industry since 2018, but I've been in lifestyle industries for over 20 years.
Okay, unpack that for me a little bit. What does that mean, kind of like lifestyle industries? That's
Yes.
speak there.
So prior to coming to Oldcastle, I was in power sports. For about 13 years, I owned and operated my own business selling aftermarket accessories for Harley Davidson, street bikes, and off-road.
Cool.
Sold that business and then decided to return back into power sports, managing 4 brands for off-road accessories. And then came here. So both are all about lifestyle. Here at Oldcastle, it's all about living well outside and outdoor living. So
Well said. How much of your time has been in Arizona versus like other parts of the country? Or are you just born and raised here or what?
born in Kansas, was in Illinois until I was 15, and then Arizona ever since. So
Were you like, I got to get out?
actually my family relocated. I was in high school and they decided to come to sunnier skies and get away from all the hay fever and corn and come here to Arizona. So I'm very thankful they did that because I love the state.
Cool. Well, good. We'll have to put you in touch with my daughter. We moved her out here at 13. So
Oh, all right.
kind of rough. I mean, I moved when I was younger too, and that age is hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Where did you move from?
Well, we were in Eastern Oregon, and then we moved away from there when I was 3rd, 4th grade into kind of like the Portland area,
Got it.
And so I was just away from all my friends and stuff,
My husband's from Oregon.
Yeah.
Junction City.
Oh wow, little tiny bitty town.
Yes.
Wow,
We
how
still had one son there. So
How did you land at Oldcastle? What did they come headhunting you, or were you like, man, I love outdoors, or like it seems like to go from I get lifestyle. That's actually
Yep.
a good comparison, but to go from Harleys to concrete pavers
Yeah.
and porcelain and construction, essentially, how'd that happen?
it's a little bit of a reach, right? People think concrete, not necessarily outdoor living, but they did not headhunt me. They actually headhunted my husband. But at the time, he wasn't looking at making a change, and I was. And so started interviewing with Oldcastle. Originally, believe it or not, did not get the position that I interviewed for. However, within 2 weeks, they had me interviewing for 3 others. And so I joined Oldcastle in a regional role. Oldcastle, I'll kind of give you a little bit of history about us. We're actually a family of brands, and we have operating companies. Huge family of brands, yes. We have operating companies all over the United States. And basically, as that family of brands, you've got operating companies manufacturing local products like Belgard. Here in Arizona, we also manufacture our Echelon line of products, which is masonry, and then our Amerimix and Sacrete. So I originally started in a regional role supporting 12 states across the West, and then moved into a national role where I became the Belgard training manager, coordinating training throughout the country with all the different Belgard brands, and came over into Superlite in the Arizona market in 2021, and have been in this role ever since.
I love it. I think it's just clicking for me. So recently became a Belgard authorized contractor and had to go through and watch all the videos and everything. That's where I saw you.
That's where you saw me.
On one of those training videos.
You are correct. If you go on our Miyagi training portal, Belgard University Online, you will see me. That was actually one of my pilot projects that I did in that national role.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, it's kind of fun, like to just have videos out there of training and learning and stuff like that. You guys are big on that. Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm really passionate about training. I come from a long line of teachers in our family.
Okay.
While I personally have never been a teacher of students, young children, I am a teacher of people. So regardless of what industry I've been in, I'm very passionate about training because I think that's the way you can build connections. But you can also understand problems or issues in the market and provide solutions by providing that training.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's been a big thing for us. We've made a lot of investments here in Arizona and even nationally in expanding our training reach of how we go to market. Everything from our large Belgard University, which, by the way, in 2026 will be even bigger. We're going to be bringing in more brands and have more breakout sessions. And then even our small hands-on, where we've got Nolan, who you're really familiar with, that will go out to job sites and assist with hands-on training. And that's where we can really get entangled with your business and try to support you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you're choosing really good words like entangled, because I do feel like you guys are doing a really good job of supporting me and helping me and coming alongside me, and I don't feel like I'm forgotten. Like, frankly, as a business owner, there's a lot of moving parts, and you got irons in the fire everywhere. You guys have been really consistent with your outreach, with your available training, with just resources and stuff like that. So I'll take this opportunity to commend you guys. I mean, it's really fun to see. I think I've mentioned this to Nolan personally, but I come from, kind of like Antonio worked at the building shop for a long time. I worked at Par Lumber in Oregon for a long time. Big company there, kind of similar to, I'm going to stumble, where Antonio came from, Orange County Builder, something like, I don't know. Thompson.
Yeah,
I remember big orange on their logo.
Yes.
Like, wait.
Yeah.
So Thompson's, I think almost a similar model, probably 30 to 40 stores and a couple hundred trucks, a couple hundred employees. Great company, but it had a lot of interaction with vendors, and it was few and far between that you kind of saw the top tier vendors, and you guys are it in our market, so kudos to you guys.
Well, thank you. And you used a word just a little bit ago, the resource. And that's really what we want to be. Yes, we manufacture products, and yes, we want you to install those products, but we really want to be the resource for you.
We don't care. Everybody makes products.
Yeah, exactly. And so being that resource when you've got a question or a job site issue, bringing us in and helping us understand it so that we can walk alongside for that solution for the homeowner.
It's been awesome. So I got nudged because somebody pointed out that I had all men on my podcast, and I'm like, I don't care. And I'm like, there's not a ton of women in the industry, Speak to me a little bit about being a woman in the industry. Like, I think we just came off of a woman celebrated holiday. What's it like? Does it matter? You notice anything? What do you think?
What's funny is I don't know that I necessarily notice it, but I've been in male-dominated industries. Power sports, I was probably one of a handful of women in that industry as well. So I am used to kind of being the only, but I feel like it's a great opportunity when women can get into these types of industries to bring a new insight, because we do look at things differently.
Amen.
The way we go to market is different. It's more of that support role. How can I help? What do we need to do better? How can we constantly improve? And also asking that question of what are we doing wrong? So being a woman in the construction industry, there's times that you walk onto a job site and you're instantly kind of given that look, but you just got to make sure you earn that respect and you know what you're talking about. Walk the walk, talk the talk, and walk alongside folks.
Yeah, I've always just been judge people by character. None of the other labels, if you will, have really mattered. But I think it's fair to recognize differences. Period. My wife and I just, both might walk into a room and I just plop down and, she's noticing design elements or something like that.
Right.
What is something that you think that maybe you bring to the table that's something that might get missed by a lot of the boys?
One of the things I think, and this was very apparent when I first came into the Arizona market. So 4 years ago when I entered the market, we were in the middle of COVID. It was pretty insane. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was the middle of COVID. And we were very commodity focused in Arizona. So a lot of the stuff being installed was the lower end, not design forward, very simple, basic, go turn and burn type projects were happening. And I think one of the things that being a woman, and you mentioned that design eye, is understanding that that's not the only part of the market. And so we as a manufacturer really had to look at our product offering differently if we wanted to be more design forward. So we had to start offering products that would give you the opportunity to lead with design instead of just price. And so that's one of the big things I think as a woman in the industry has allowed me to look at it as a different lens and own that we need to give you products. If we want to be design focused in Arizona, we've got to give you products that you can design with.
And I'm hearing just through your chatter, I'm hearing more resources, Belgard Design Studio, all your literature is top notch. So it's just super fun to be engaged with you guys. What, give me some trends. it's 2025. We're in the first quarter.
Yes.
Can you spill the beans on anything coming out, or like things that you think might be hot this year or in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. Trends are the funnest thing to follow, in my opinion, and we're definitely seeing large formats. Traditionally in our market, it's been the smaller formats that have led with the markets.
Right?
Exactly. Now we're getting into those larger formats, and we're really seeing that trend. The other thing is tone on tone. So you'll notice that in some of our colors that we're launching, they're less subtle on the blending side. When you look at our Bella or Victorian, they're much more vibrant blends, meaning lots of contrast and movement. As we go into large formats, we're seeing more subtle blending, tone on tones. So colors like our Hickory, which is more of a taupe, very light and subtle.
Pause there.
Yep.
Hickory.
Yeah.
This market.
Yep.
Is that happening?
It is. You're going to see
a timeline?
Actually, we've got it on the ground right now in both our Dimension 6 and Dimensions 12 products. We just did the first production runs.
Play. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I'm going to have to get in Nolan's here. I'm going to need a sampler.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'd love it. It's a beautiful color. It goes really well with our environment because it is a brown, but yet it's not, it doesn't have the red undertone like a Sierra does.
Yeah, I think reds are dead for the most part. I think there'll always be that match or, a lot of houses. It's going to take a while to get all the red out of here. And it won't ever go away.
Right.
I mean, it's, painted hills and, a lot of the quarter minus out here, or there's red rock and stuff.
Yes.
So it's part of the elements out here. But how do you feel about curves in design? I feel like out here, I've stumbled across this a couple times, but it's just like feels a little cookie cutter out here, and we're guilty too.
Yep.
I think everybody's a little bit guilty because maybe the customers, maybe that's all they see on social media, so that's what they want. But how do you feel about curves in design?
I love a curve. I also love integrating different materials. So while we manufacture pavers and segmental retaining wall, I love to see a beautiful wood or a metal or other things incorporated with a design because I think it really accents. I do believe a lot of folks stay away from the curve just because of the cutting and the planning that's involved in making sure that design is. But it's a testament to craftsmanship when you can see a great curve.
Yeah, they take a little bit more time, cost a little bit more money, but I just feel like it really will soften up a space so much. And even, not just curves on the flat, but then even undulation in our, putting greens or where we're landscaping and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Tell me about a product you would like to see Belgard or Oldcastle sell more of, or you would like to point out to people that they might not know you have that.
Sure.
Guys, we got this and we're killing it in this other region with this project that maybe hasn't caught on here.
Sure. We actually have a really cool new product from our Moisture Shield side of the business. Moisture Shield is our composite decking division, 95% recycled material. They have a cool deck, which is actually cooler than your standard pool decking. Okay. Here in Arizona, it's been tested out, so it's a fantastic product. But the thing that I'm really excited about from them is a new product called Instadeck. And what Instadeck does is it lays on grade. So you prepare the base exactly like you would pavers.
Okay.
You put the Instadeck down, and then the Moisture Shield clamps into it.
Heck yeah.
And the super cool part is it's the exact same height as a 60 millimeter paver.
Okay.
So you can incorporate paver and composite decking.
Grade, yeah.
Exactly. So it's really, I'm excited to see how you and the other contractors in the market might start incorporating that into design, because that is something brand new for Arizona. You don't think of decks typically in Phoenix, but on grade could be really interesting.
I will push back there. It's going to be really hard. I mean, I don't know. I come from the lumber world and I've seen a lot of composites, Trex, TimberTech, and all of them, and they move a lot. They have a lot of movement. So we'll have to talk about that. I would love to see, just how it specs out, because I think it gets so hot here and so cold here, honestly, that like one of the things that tripped me out is in one of the neighborhoods I lived in, I would always see these sidewalks buckled.
Yes.
And it's because of thermal expansion. So
yes.
I'm curious to see how that works, or what we got to do maybe just a little bit different to be able to put a deck down, because it would be really fun to be able to incorporate another element. Yeah.
Well, come by the Solution Center and we can show you the Instadeck.
Right there. Yeah. I'm 6 minutes away.
Perfect.
My office is right there. What's 5 years, 10 years out for the industry? What do you think? I pretty much am like on AI kick right now, and I'm picking on every guest. But outside of that, or maybe in the industry, or what, you see some big changes coming at all?
I think, it's funny you mentioned AI. I think technology is going to advance the industry substantially in that it will allow our contractors and designers to be even more creative utilizing technology, being able to do renderings that seem lifelike, those types of things that will really connect with the homeowner. One of the things that I think as an industry, as we continue to evolve, is leveraging technology to really tell the story, but also emotionally connect with a homeowner. If you can show that homeowner something other than just a sketch, but actually a virtual reality of their backyard, that's a way to differentiate yourself as a contractor. And I believe that those contractors that start adopting that type of technology are the ones that will really continue to elevate within the market.
Clip this. We are going to talk about this in 5 years.
Yeah.
So I had about an hour conversation with an AI guru today. Like, AI is his business.
Yeah.
And I essentially want to make that so much easier. I want to make it so, without spilling the beans, I just want to make it so that those renderings are pretty much at your fingertips as you're leaving your initial consult.
That'd be fantastic.
Think about how fun that would be.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Just at least get a, you didn't spend 6 hours on a design, but you do get to show them something like, hey, is this kind of what you were thinking?
And then at least it gives them something to react to. Hey, I like this or I don't like this. And you can really start dialing it in.
It's what it's all about. Tell me a little bit more about you. We got through that really quick. And got right down to business. But one of the funner parts of doing this, as we were talking about a little bit before this, was, just me getting to know people. What are some of the hobbies that you like to do, or that, you and your husband go do together, or, something? Tell me a little bit more about Megan.
Well, what most people are surprised about is, so I have 4 siblings, three stepbrothers and a sister. Out of the 5 of us, I am the DIYer. So we just finished a 2-year remodel on our home. That was a full gut. Redid the whole thing, and my husband and I did all the work ourselves. We only contracted out the drywall because I refuse to hang drywall anymore.
Oh, please.
But everything else, from electrical to plumbing to framing to flooring, I do tile.
That's awesome.
Love to do that kind of stuff. In fact, this weekend I'll be painting the siding on my house.
You need to do a vlog on the next house that you guys decide to rent out.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea. It would be a lot of fun. You'll see some. We love demo. My husband almost loves it too much, but
Demo's awesome.
Yeah.
I miss demo.
Yeah.
Demo's just, I don't know. It's almost as fun as like putting the final touches on something,
It's the in between that's the struggle. The demo's fun and the lipstick's fun. It's that in between that's painful.
No, 100,000%. Tell me a little bit about your impact here in the Valley as a company. Like, how many reps are you guys sitting on, and do you have just like one office here? Like, what does that look like for Oldcastle or Belgard? Because you're so big. Like, do you guys have like, do all the people from all the parts of Oldcastle come together and have a meeting, or are you guys pretty cordoned off?
We're pretty segmented.
Okay.
Each of the brands does operate independently, other than here in Arizona, because we manufacture both pavers, segmental retaining wall, masonry, and bag. The teams here in this market do work together. Across the sales team, we have 20 different outside reps that specialize in different segments of the market. So it could be Belgard distributor reps, Nolan, who's a contractor rep. We have folks that call on the large masons in the market. So we've got segments for each, but they really do work as a collective team. Mine is 10 folks. I have 10 folks on my team that manage all different aspects. So we've got a rep that works with strictly home builders and goes out and talks with them to understand new communities that are coming and what kind of products can we get specified. We really like to focus on that home builder, because if we can get our products in the driveway, we know then you can accentuate the backyard with the same product and or upsell it to something really beautiful.
Yeah, I know. It's funny you said that, because this happened, actually. There's some Dimension 6 Rio in the front, and he wanted a different paver because of price, and I think we're going to drag it all the way into the back. So wise. Maybe there's a business lesson there.
Yeah.
What should I be doing as a contractor to elevate my game in a market like this? It's really competitive out here. That much I will say is true.
It is.
Maybe a lot of markets are like that, but I just feel like there's a lot of people here that know enough about construction, and there's a big enough labor pool that it's really challenging. What do you think I should be doing to differentiate myself or other contractors?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the big challenge we have in the market is, I'm going to say there's kind of three buckets in the market. There's the really high end and the ultra customs and commercial. There's the middle of the market, and then there's a lower end of the market. And this is, you know, the lower end is more of just kind of the commodity, the cookie cutter type things that you're seeing. So one of the things that you're already doing, and we're starting to see more and more contractors do, is stop competing with just a price. Really try to compete on design, building that relationship with the homeowner, focusing on listening to what they're looking for, and then trying to deliver on that. And I think that's been a paradigm shift here in the market, that more contractors are starting to look at that instead of, oh, well, this is what I've always done, so this is what you're going to want. Give them that space that's going to make the neighbor want it, right? That's really what it's all about. If you can give them an amazing space, the neighbor comes over, they're a little jealous, and now they want to do their yard as well.
I love that.
So that way it gives you that opportunity to really compete on design and connect emotionally. You know, folks are using these outdoor spaces to spend time with their families, our grandkids, right? Grandkids coming out or playing with your dog or spending time with your friends and family. And just remember that that's really what that space is about. It's not about what you or I want. It's what is that person looking for and how can they utilize that space.
And you're making me reflect on, so I had Jack Dyer in here, and he basically said just really close to what you said. And I think it's starting to sink in with me too. And I'm trying to tell, you know, my guys that too. It's hard because there is this vast, like, hey, this is what there is to choose from on social media. If you look, it's all rectangles and turf's in between all of them. We've done it, not gonna lie.
Yep.
You know, but at the same time, these are spaces where you're gonna enjoy time with your family, your friends. You're gonna have great memories there. You're gonna have some sad memories there, but like, let's make that unique. And I think bringing the outside in and the inside out is really where I'm going to be able to be different, because there's just too much competition at the bottom to even make it. Just doesn't make sense.
No.
And you kind of got to cheat to be that low on something.
Yeah.
You know, there's a level of that.
And when I think of that design, and you just mentioned that inside out, outside in. If someone is doing something inside their home, they're looking at that room and that space and how is it going to flow with the rest of their house? Does it, reflect their personality? Are they looking for something very clean and modern? Are they looking for something very homey and organic? I think making sure that we understand that, and then treating the outside like a room, right? Making sure that we're looking at it. Hey, is this a living space? Is this more of a cooking space? We have outdoor kitchens now, which are hugely popular. And making sure that we identify how are you going to utilize the space and what can we incorporate it to really make it personalized.
I love that. There was a guy at Belgard U who was teaching on design, and one of his caveats was furniture first. Makes a lot of sense to place the furniture where you're going to sit and then design around that, because I think so many times, not all of us, but a lot of us will just go, okay, here's a pad and here's a thing, and then, okay, you ready? Let's go. We're doers. We want, to some degree, we want to get stuff done.
Right.
But slowing down and listening, furniture first, I'm starting to pick it up.
Yeah. I believe that was Joe Raboyne. He's actually one of our national directors of design. Been in the industry for 30 plus years and has great insights on design trends. That's basically what he thinks about all day long.
Yeah, you guys really do scoop up the just the cream of the crop. Even Joe and Antonio and yourself and Nolan. It's just fun. I'm so happy to have you here.
Oh, I love being a part of this group. I think we've got great talent, and I think everyone wants to just make the business better, make the industry better, and be there for our contractors.
What are some challenges? What are you seeing guys in my shoes or other contractors that you deal with really struggle with? What's hard right now, and what are you guys doing to look at that or come alongside contractors, if anything?
No, I think absolutely. I think setting the right expectation of what a concrete paver will look like for the homeowner. You know, folks see pictures that are photoshopped or touched up, and, you know, maybe they don't see larger aggregates on the surface. Maybe the color looks a little bit different. So just making sure we set the right expectation for the homeowner. And if we didn't set that up front and then the homeowner is maybe disappointed, how do we manage that conversation? To understand that there's only so much you can do as a manufacturer to keep within a product spec, and how can we help navigate that and set that right expectation for the homeowner by providing samples, by having them do a plant tour, maybe showing them some of the different options. The other big challenge too, I think that we're having, and it's not just a Belgard challenge, I think it's a paver manufacturer challenge, is understanding the difference in color from production run to production run. Believe it or not, concrete and cement cures differently depending on the temperature that it is outside, the moisture outside. So you might have product that was manufactured last week, and then this week it rained, right? So it might have just a little bit of a color variation or not cure as fast. And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure we're educating contractors when they're installing. If they're seeing that the color seems a little bit different, to stop and reach out to us so that we can, you know, have that conversation. But also understand that it might just be that this product is greener than the other product, and it just needs a little time to cure.
Fascinating. You're right. And it's crazy to think about, you know, when you get into the weeds on these products, both of my last guests, Ladder Creek Steve and Matt from Pebble Tech, blew my mind with their knowledge of just like how deep into the weeds these guys have gotten. It sounds like you're there too. I mean, little stuff like just, you know, you get 5 pallets delivered. Don't just pull from one pallet and throw them down.
Exactly.
Mix it up. But like, you've got to tell your guys to do that, or they might not do that.
You'll end up with color blocks sometimes. Now, one of the things that we've done over the last year is we've tried to improve our blends for our colors so that it's more consistent throughout each layer. So that way, if your guys don't properly pull, it's still going to blend nicely. So we've done a lot of work around that. In fact, we've rejected a lot of stuff. We've thrown out some stuff because we didn't like the way the blending looked, just to try and make it easier for contractors when they're installing.
Wow. Yeah, almost if there was a pre-pallet blending that happened. But I get it. It's just, yeah, it's just so much easier to go ahead and just grab a different one.
Yeah.
Any acquisitions coming up? You guys got your eye on anything?
God, you never know with us, right?
I feel like it's scooping folks up.
Yeah, so we did acquire Master Block last year, which is a manufacturer on the west side of Phoenix that does fence block and gray block and a little bit of architectural. And so one of the fun things about that is it's allowed us to expand our yards for Belgard. So we actually now yard Belgard at that plant, even though it's not manufactured there.
Perfect.
So we have that on the west side.
Increasing availability.
Exactly. And then we have our Highland plant.
Okay.
We're also stocking additional SKUs down at Lone Butte. And then we even have stocking down in Tucson. So we're leveraging our footprint across the state to try and make product more readily available.
And then you guys have, I mean, I don't think most people know this, but I mean, you literally have lights and barbecues and you have all the things. Like, you could stay in your family and complete most projects.
Yeah. We've got a great e-commerce platform called Elements Pro.
Yeah,
and you can go on there and see all of the things you just mentioned, from grills to burners to outdoor refrigerators to lighting. We even have privacy screens. We've got some fire bowls made by Pebble Tech.
Are these all readily available here in this market, or like, is it like I order it online and it comes? How does that work?
Sure.
If it happened to be that I maybe submit something to the design center, they kick me back something that's got all your stuff, I'm like, yeah, let's go. What happens?
So when you place the order on the e-commerce, it drop ships directly either to your business or to your job site, wherever you prefer the material to go. And they'll ship it all together. Some of it is made here. So, for example, the Pebble Tech fire bowls and planters are all made in Scottsdale.
I went over there. That was cool.
It is really cool. I'm glad you got to check that out. And then the lighting ships out of California, so it's only a day or two, along with all of our grills and other accessories for outdoor kitchens. So it's typically just 1 to 2 business days for that stuff to arrive.
Any retail in your future, or do you guys think that it's just you're going to stay on the backside and let other people retail?
You never know. I will say there's probably conversations being had at our national level, because that is a decision not just within a local market, but I am pretty sure there's some folks having conversations around that.
Yeah, it just seems interesting because I feel like you've got to the point where, not that you'd want to, but you could almost just break away and just have these hubs, if you will, that are, less e-commerce and more. So technology and ordering stuff and the lack of face-to-face, what's keeping you guys in front of people? I know I just saw Nolan started up his own Instagram.
He did, yeah.
The Belgard guy.
Yep.
He's going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. We're going to make sure he doesn't have too much fun. But yeah, I think he's going to have a great time.
Let him go.
I actually took this from my power sports days. And one of the things in power sports is there's two ways that you compete. You're either first to market, and then that way you have the product that no one else has, or you provide an experience. People are not going to remember the product. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And so we want to
say that again?
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Yeah, 100%. People will not remember the product you're selling. They will remember how you made them feel. And so if we can make sure that we're connecting with our contractors and our distributors, making sure that we are providing them resources, that they feel supported, that we, set the phone aside and have these one-on-one types of conversations, that's what people will remember. And so when they are looking for the product, they're going to come back to you because you made them feel important. And so I think in business, we've forgotten that through COVID and through technology, but it's really important because it does. I know when I have a great experience with a business or a brand, I will go back and I will refer that and I will make sure that I'm loyal to it because it's a great experience.
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
That was really good. Like, I just think it's lost on people. It's been so fun and unduly, I've gotten so much praise, and I'm not saying that, don't hear what I'm not saying, but for just going out and shaking hands and trying to just meet people and be like, hi, I'm Eric, you know? And it's weird how well it's received, and people are like, oh, well, hi, I'm John, you know, or whatever. And so I think we all could do a little bit better at just the human element, of just connecting.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think that's whether you're in business or even in your personal life, tell somebody hello, give them a smile, wave, acknowledge someone's presence is always important.
Well, and, I mean, it's, life has reared its ugly head here recently. You never know really what tomorrow brings, so you got to be careful. I think each and every day in really connecting with those people that you value, but also just anyone and everyone.
Absolutely.
To a high degree.
Yeah. And when you think about connection, it doesn't mean that you agree with everything that someone has. You just have to find 1% of common ground. And I think you can find that with just about anybody.
Or not even. I think you can be 100% on different pages, but I think you can agree to disagree and just keep the conversation going just out of mutual respect.
Very true.
I mean, I hear you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you down, but I mean,
I completely agree with what you're saying.
There's the ability to have chats with folks that you are on the other side of the table of, you know. I think contractors and clients oftentimes get off in the weeds, and it takes a little bit of a reality check or a shake-up to just kind of be like, what are we talking about again? Because emotions get so high, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, we're on the same page.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's land the plane. Give me something that you really want anybody watching this, or anybody that knows you, or anybody that might interact with Oldcastle, to take away from this interaction. Or if, I love just hearing you riff on, the human connection. What do you want to leave people with?
I want people to know that we really do care. We care about your business. We know that if we don't perform, if we don't have product available for you to install, that you're not able to perform your jobs and support your teams. And that is really important to me personally. I want to make sure that we have what you need so that you can perform your job and take care of your teams and your family. I was a business owner and understand how impactful a manufacturer can be when I cannot get material or products that my customers are wanting, and I lose business. And so for me, I just want everyone to know that when we do struggle as Belgard with producing products or maybe have a little bit of a lead time, it is an absolute priority that we get that to you quickly because we do care about your business. And I think because so many times that human connection is lost, that they think, oh, it's just Belgard, they're big, they don't care about me, I'm the little guy, whatever. But we really do. We want to perform. We want to give you what you need in order to do your jobs, because without you out there selling our products, we don't have anything to make. And so we know that that's a definite connection. We could make pavers all day long, but if you're not designing with them, if you're not installing them, if you're not out there in front of that homeowner, I don't have a job, and we don't need all the plants that we have.
Well said. You're hired.
Thank you. When do I start?
I know, right? We'll have some fun. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
This is a good time. We'll see you.
Yeah.